is the time for us to stand up together as one.
Of course, this is the first like animated Transformers project we've had in quite some time. What was the idea of kind of returning the franchise back to its animated roots as opposed to the slew of live action films we've got?
Well, number one, we were going to end up exploring Cybertron in a way that you really couldn't do live action. Animation allowed for an expansion of the visual experience in this case. And so that was super important. And when you have robots talking in CG, it's very expensive. So there's a savings also that occurs when you do animation for actual speaking. But mostly what we were looking for was a singular look that only animation, I think, could have presented.
Okay, that actually leads right into my next question. This is for you, Josh. You're tasked with bringing Cybertron to life, right? Like, it's limitless, right? In animation, what was your approach with that, bringing the world of the Autobots to us?
That's one of the things that got me excited about this movie from the get-go was the whole thing takes place on their planet Cybertron, and it's before it's starting to die. In the other versions, they're forced to leave the planet. But what's it look like when everything's going great? And why do they want to stay there? Because that's ultimately what they're fighting for once the wars start and everything. Like that, this planet is their home. So it was a great challenge to create a world that is metal, it can transform by itself, but also still looks beautiful and something that you were like, I've never seen that before. So it was, I knew it was going to be just stunning for the.
He was also trying to find that texture that looks like metal, but it's not. Is it rock? Is it metal? What is it exactly? And I think actually one of the interesting things was, well, what does it sound like when they walk on it?
Yeah.
Which was really a struggle.
It didn't want it to sound like pots and pans being banged together the whole time.
Right. So, quick question for you, Lorenzo. I know we don't have much time, but you mentioned the idea of going back to animation and how that changes how you can approach the story. Will this movie, especially with how great it turned out, kind of change how you approach the live action side going forward?
Well, yes, it will change it because we have no humans in the animated movie. All the human characteristics that we use to invest the audience in the characters, we were able to put them in the robots. So I don't think we can go backwards when we go to the live action. We're going to be forced. Forced sounds like we're resisting it. We're going to have to figure out how to do it in live action, partly because it costs so much money. So every time they talk in live action is really expensive. So in some respects, we've always had a restriction on it. Now we have no choice, which is great for us because now we can give a different point of view coming from the Transformers in live action.
That point of view is one of the film's strengths. My last question for you, Josh. Optimus and Megatron are the backbone of this film with their brotherhood. What was it like, kind of like developing that origin story and having those characters shine?
It was awesome. I mean, that is the movie. That relationship is what's everything's based on for this film. And I knew it was going to be, it could be powerful and emotional because it's such a human relationship, but I also knew it was going to be difficult. And it really was the thing that, we had to really work on and make sure it made sense, and also make sure that the relationship wasn't advancing too much or not enough. It was just finding that right balance for the length of the film.
It turned out fantastic. Again, you guys created a wonderful film. Thank you so much for your time.